Hello, welcome back to Kim Reads. We continue with Among the Hidden. Chapter 9. Luke was so surprised he lost his balance and almost fell backwards off the trunk. By the time he recovered and righted himself, the face was gone. Had he imagined it? Was it just one of the sports family brothers coming home early from school? Kids got sick like Dad said, or they decided to play hooky. Luke tried to remember every detail of the face he'd seen or thought he had seen. It had been younger than either of the sports family brothers. Softer. Hadn't it? Maybe it was a thief, or a maid had come home early. No, it was a child. He didn't even let himself think what another child in that house would be. He stared for hours at the sports family's house, but no face reappeared. Nothing happened until 6. When two sports family boys drove in their Jeep, unloaded their football gear, and carried it into the house. They didn't run out screaming about being robbed. And he'd seen no thief leave. He'd seen no maid leave. At 6:30, Luke reluctantly climbed down from his perch when he heard Mother's knock at the door. He sat down on his bed and muttered a distracted, "Come in." She rushed to hug him. "Luke, I'm so sorry. I know you were just trying to help. And everything's amazingly clean. I'd love it if you could do this every day. But your father thinks... you can't..." Luke was so busy thinking about the face in the window that he couldn't figure out what she was talking about. "Oh, the bread, the house cleaning, the radio." "That's okay," Luke mumbled. But it wasn't, and it never would be. His anger came back. Why did his parents have to be so careful? Why didn't they just lock him in one of the trunks in the attic and be done with it? "Can't you talk to him?" Luke said. "Can't you convince him?" Mother pushed Luke's hair back from his face. "I'll try," she said. "You know he's just trying to protect you. We can't take any chances." Even in the face in the window of the sports family was another child. So what? Luke and the other kid could live right next door all their lives and never meet. Luke might not see the other kid again. And he'd never seen Luke. Luke lowered his head. "What am I to do?" he asked. "There's nothing for me to do. Am I just supposed to sit in this room the rest of my life?" Mother was stroking his hair now. It made him feel itchy and irritable. "Oh, Lukey," she said, "you can do so much. Read and play and sleep whenever you want. Believe me, I'd like to live a day of your life right about now." "No, you wouldn't," Luke muttered. But he said it so softly he wasn't sure Mother could hear. He knew she wouldn't understand. And if there was a third child in the sports family, would he understand? Would he feel the way Luke did? Chapter 10. Luke went down for supper. He saw the mother had set two of his loaves of bread out on the china plate she used for holidays and special occasions. She was showing off the bread the way she used to tape up the crooked drawings Matthew and Mark brought home from school when they were little. But something else had gone wrong. Maybe Luke hadn't used enough yeast, or he kneaded the dough too much or too little, and the loaves turned out flat. They looked lopsided and pathetic in the center of the table. Luke wished Mother had just thrown them away. "It's cold out now. Nobody knows if you pulled out in the shades. Why can't I sit at the table with all of you?" he asked when he reached the bottom of the stairs. "Oh, Luke," Mother started. "Someone might see your shadow through the shade," he said. "They wouldn't know it was mine," Luke said. "But there'd be 5. Someone might get suspicious," Mother said patiently. "Luke, we're just trying to protect you. How about a big slice of your bread? There's cold beef and canned beans, too." Resignedly, Luke sat on the stairs. Matthew asked about the auction Dad had gone to. "I drove all the way there for nothing," Dad said disgustingly. "I waited 4 hours for the tractors to come up, and then I couldn't even afford the first bid." "At least you got home in time to fix that back fence before dark," Mother said, cutting the bread. "And yell at me," Luke thought bitterly. What was wrong with him? Nothing had changed, except maybe seeing a face that belonged to someone like him. Matthew and Mark suddenly noticed the bread Mother was doling out. "What's wrong with that?" Mark asked. "I'm sure it'll taste fine," Mother said. "It's Luke's first try." Luke muttered, "And my last," too softly for anyone to hear. There were advantages to sitting on the other side of the room from everyone else. Luke made bread? Mark said incredulously. Yuck. Yeah, and I put a special poison in one of the loaves that affects only 14-year-olds, Luke said. He pantomimed death, clutching his hands around his neck, letting his tongue have his mouth, and lolling his head to the side. If you're nice to me, I'll tell you which loaf was saved. That shut Mark up, but earned Luke a frown from Mother. Luke felt strange about the joke anyway. Of course he'd never poison anyone. But if something happened to Matthew or Mark, would Luke have to hide anymore? Would he become the public second son, free to go to town and to school and everywhere else that Matthew and Mark went? Could his parents find some way to explain a new child, already 12 years old? It wasn't something Luke could ask. He felt guilty just thinking about it. Mark was making a big ceremony out of bringing the bread to his mouth. I'm not scared of you, he taunted, and took a big bite. He swallowed with great difficulty and pretended to gag. Water, water, quick, he gulped down half of his glass and glared at Luke. Take the poison. Tastes like poison, all right. Luke bit into his bread. It was dry and crumbly and tasteless, not like Mother's at all, and everybody knew it. Even Dad and Mother had painted expressions on their faces as they chewed. Dad finally pushed his away. That's okay, Luke, he said. I'm not sure I'd want any son of mine getting too good at baking anyhow. That's what a man gets married for. Matthew and Mark guffawed. Getting married soon, Luke? Mark teased. Sure, Luke said, struggling to sound a devil-may-care as Mark. But don't think I'd invite you to the wedding. He felt a cold, hard lump in his stomach. That wasn't the bread. Of course he'd never get married, or do anything. He'd never leave the house. Mark switched to teasing Matthew, who evidently did have a girlfriend. Luke watched the rest of his family laughing. May I be excused? Luke asked. Everyone turned to him in surprise. Usually he was the last one to make a request. Mother often begged Matthew and Mark, can't you wait and talk to Luke a little longer? Done already? Mother asked. I'm not very hungry, Luke said. Mother gave him a worried look but nodded anyway. Luke went to his room and climbed onto the stool by the back fence. In the dark, it was easier than ever to see into the houses of the new neighborhood. Their windows were lit up against the night. Some families were eating, like his. He could see one set of 4 people around a dining room table, and one set of 3. Some families had their curtains or shades down, but sometimes the material was in, and he could see the shadows of the people inside. Only the sports family had all their windows totally blocked, covered by heavy blinds. Okay, that's it. Thanks for listening.